2, and perhaps day 3. This is going to be a huge game. Aravindh with a victory could go into...
that would shake up the standings completely.
Absolutely. And we're E45. Will Aravindh play the same peace sacrifice against...
Alireza needs to play the Berlin, and Alireza has been doing other things here, right? He plays prior against MPL, so we're not going to see the exact same thing.
Did MPL ever get anything in that prior, by the way?
No, he was worse, right? He was.
Well, he was, but I mean, from the opening before.
A bit, but never more than 0 plus 0.20 there, 0 maybe 25 at some point on my screen.
It was H4. It
was a bit mysterious to me. I wasn't quite sure what was it.
Okay, we're expecting the standard Rui Lopez practice. Were you mentioning, Peter, that D2, D3? Castles, of course.
Yeah, D2, D3 was played on move 3 by Vincent Tapalo. He's back to the Jabava stuff in his game against...
He did get a good position though out of the opening.
Yes.
Yeah, after Bishop E2.
With no rookie 1, by the way. Aravindh played D3, B5, Bishop B3.
Arguably, maybe even the main line of the Spanish these days, because people really don't like to allow anything remotely connected with the Marshal these days.
The first game today, Alireza didn't play D6, right? He castled and won Bishop B7.
No, I think he did play D6 and knight B8.
No, but that was rookie 1. That was a
rookie
Spanish
1. Yeah.
This all the subjects
Against
are so
MPL.
similar and just tiny little differences.
No, the worst one is the Jokobi.
I know.
my brain becomes mush after
last year. Issue.
It was.
And Alireza going for prior adjacent lines even here in the D3 A3 Spanish with knight B8. Knight B8 exists in pretty much every single position these days. The temptation to reply to it with A3, A4 is quite strong, but I guess black quite happily goes B4, knight D5, takes, plays C6, and says this is nothing much.
Right, exactly. The knight on
C6, I want to drop back to some square, maybe A2. I'm still curious why this isn't even a little bit better for white. I would feel that maybe I have a little bit of something.
But now we understand why the knight on C6 disappear. Because we can play C6, we can drive the bishop back, and then, like you said, maybe I've got a little something after, for example, bishop E6.
Bishop E6, I wouldn't even play it here. I feel like this particular version is not that attractive for black. Takes, D4 exists. Like white gets more than white normally gets in this structure.
Oops.
I would play, I don't know. Knight B8 is a kind of a rare move. Of course it exists, and there's a
Alireza is not
Dang.
happy.
Played the move. Just
Four,
few seconds.
a5 maybe? Maybe he didn't want to allow this h5, but it doesn't change things up that well. Does it?
I don't think it does.
Yeah, rook a7. I guess we go in anyway. We go
Yeah,
h5.
you have to try.
H5 check.
There's really nothing else in the position. Eventually, you will have to do it.
King G7.
Definitely not
King
h6.
f7 played, yeah. Well, that, yeah. That's actually a very stable setup. Now we go rook b4, rook b5, and we try to play king f5. But even if we achieve all that, we have no threats.
If we go rook b4, rook b5, king f5.
Rook just stays on the 7th rank. Ready to check you as
I
soon as you move the
I
rook.
think you have to allow a lot more than that for you to be in any trouble yet. I think you can continue passing for quite some time here.
So with the king and rook on the 5th rank, I will push h6 and
Yeah, maybe at that point you are advised to play king g7, maybe. Because allowing h6 feels...
because yeah, you don't.
Even after that, I don't know what the threat is, to be honest.
Well, I just want to give you h1
Rook
and
b7.
take the f pawn, but it's still gonna
Yeah,
be.
the g-pawn is the drawingest of all the pawns. So,
Most draw.
yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to refresh the board and get to the current position. Is this our last game, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
If this is a draw, we go from a...
And for first place, this is the fight for first.
Yeah.
Aravindh with a win could tie for first with Vladimir and
Alireza just played a
Alireza.
move with 3 seconds on the clock.
3.
Yeah, and this is where he has
The
to
moment
decide
of
whether
truth.
he is afraid of h6 or not.
Exactly.
I mean, king
This is-
b7 does have a downside. You allow king e6.
Yeah, like rook d5, king e6. Maybe not the immediate king e6, but rook d5 followed by king e6, and then we have the interpositions and the threat of rook e7.
Just to show how I can potentially lose this.
That is
very
quite
quick
good,
loss.
yeah.
Why do I see the losses so fast? I mean, wait a minute. Yeah, that's not good.
Rook d5.
Rook d5 played. I think we've sort of established that you can actually allow h6. Again, playing f7, h6, rook a7. I don't think there's anything there.
And again, time.
3 seconds.
But also,
Time! Whoa!
He flagged.
He flagged!
That's unreal. He flagged the
Wow!
and Arvind joins Alireza in the lead.
Exactly.
and
And
Vladimir,
Vladimir's 3. So our rapid